Hour Special Edition.
Hello and a very warm welcome. You're watching the Newshour Special Edition with me, Priya Bahal, this Sunday evening on Times Now. Now, Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as a parliamentarian seems to have injected a new energy in Grand Old Party's offensive against the central government, and defiant is the route that party seems to have taken to respond to Surat court's verdict. The tone that was set on Friday with Gandhi not Savarkar posters coming up across the country was spelt out by former Congress president himself yesterday, and today formed the bedrock of party's Sankalp Satyagraha. Speaking at Rajghat, despite Section 144 having been imposed, former Wayanad MP's sister and Congress General Secretary Priyanka Gandhi Vadra took it a notch further, calling Prime Minister Narendra Modi a coward.
कायर है इस देश का प्रधानमंत्री, लगा दो केस मुझ पर, लगा दो केस मुझ पर, जेल ले जाओगे भी, लेकिन सच्चाई ये है कि इस देश का प्रधानमंत्री कायर है, अपनी सत्ता के पीछे छुपा हुआ है, अहंकारी है। इस देश के लोकतंत्र को मेरे परिवार के खून ने सींचा है, और जो सोचता है कि हमें अपमानित करके हमें डराएंगे, हमें धमकाएंगे, जो सोचता है कि तमाम एजेंसियों को लगाकर हम पे छापे मारकर हमसे कुछ भी करके हमको हमें डराएंगे, वो गलत सोचते हैं। आप परिवारवादी कहते हैं तो भगवान राम कौन थे? भगवान राम को वनवास में भेजा गया, उन्होंने अपने परिवार, अपनी धरती के प्रति अपना धर्म निभाया। क्या भगवान राम परिवारवादी थे?
Now, while interestingly Rahul Gandhi himself was not to be found at the protest, other senior Congress leaders did take up cudgels for him, alleging that the BJP is scared of charges that are being levelled against the Prime Minister by Rahul Gandhi when he was in the Parliament, and therefore it was in a tearing hurry to get him disqualified.
ना डरता है और किसी के सामने झुकता नहीं। जो व्यक्ति उसके जीवन का 2014 के पहले 3,000 करोड़ का था, फिर उसको बढ़ते बढ़ते 50,000 करोड़ हो गया, फिर और बढ़ते 2 लाख हो गया, और आखिरी में सिर्फ 2.5 साल में 12 लाख करोड़ उसकी संपत्ति हो गई। कैसा हो गया भाई? यही हमारे राहुल जी ने पूछा। ऐसी बातें अगर पूछते हैं हम देशद्रोही होते हैं।
The BJP, however, is saying that this abuse politics by the Congress party and its leaders is nothing but a mockery, because Satyagraha was meant to be quest for truth. But what is the truth that the Congress party is looking for here? Is it against the courts or is it against the BJP?
सत्य के मार्ग पर चलने वाला ही सत्याग्रह कर सकता है, और सत्य के मार्ग पर चलने वाला कभी सत्याग्रह की बात करे, यह व्यक्ति के यानी आचरण और व्यवहार, आचार और विचार, कथनी और करनी दोनों के भेद को बहुत स्पष्ट कर देता है कि यह व्यक्ति बोलता कुछ और है, करता कुछ और है। कोई उस पर विश्वास नहीं करे। और सत्याग्रह के मार्ग पर चलने की जो प्रेरणा बापू ने दी, वास्तव में वही सत्य का आग्रह जो अपने जीवन में कर सके, मन, वचन और कर्म से सत्य का आचरण जो व्यक्ति करता हो, उसके अनुसार व्यवहार करता हो, वही सत्याग्रह है। लोकतंत्र को कमजोर करने वाले सत्याग्रह नहीं कर सकते। देश को जातिवाद, क्षेत्रवाद, भाषावाद और तमाम वादों में बांटने वाले भी सत्याग्रह नहीं कर सकते।
Now, one line that has been repeatedly undertaken, put out on the posters, spoken by the leaders, is that Rahul Gandhi is a Gandhi, not a Savarkar. The insinuation there being that he is not going to apologize, like the leader who the Congress party has repeatedly done so when it came to the Britishers. Here is what Savarkar's grandson had to say in retort to that.
राहुल गांधी वारंवार खोटं बोलतायत, सावरकरांवर रेटून खोटे आरोप करतायत, कारण
आता जी सत्य पुढे येत आहे की देशाची फाळणी कोणी केली? नेहरूंनी केली. नेहरूंनी 9 मेला फाळणीला विरोध केला होता सिमल्यामध्ये. लॉर्ड आणि लेडी माउंटबॅटन यांच्यावर ते एकटेच होते. त्याच्यानंतर 11 मेला त्यांनी या फाळणीचा स्वीकार केला. तर राहुल गांधींनी सांगावं जनतेला की या 36 तासात 48 तासात असं काय झालं की नेहरूंचा विरोध हा मावळून त्यांनी फाळणीची योजना मान्य केली. काँग्रेसच्या कुठल्याही कार्यकारिणीला किंवा सदस्याला विश्वासात न घेता त्यांनी एकट्याने तो निर्णय मान्य केला आणि काँग्रेसवर थोपला. तर अशा प्रकारे जे देश तोडण्याचं काम नेहरूंनी केलंय तो इतिहास बाहेर येतोय. आणि राहुल गांधी त्यांच्याच पावलावर पाऊल ठेवून चाललेले आहेत. देशात जोडल्याची भाषा करतात पण शेवटी तोडायचीच भाषा करतात. तर असं त्यांची जी पापं लपवण्याकरता आज ते सत्याग्रह करतायत. तो सत्याग्रह नाही आहे, तो सत्तेचा आग्रह आहे असंच मला वाटतं.
So the big questions that arise today is Congress's satyagraha against the BJP or the court that gave this verdict? Is BJP behind Rahul Gandhi's disqualification as MP? Is it a deliberate plan by the Congress party to escalate attacks further on the Prime Minister even as calls for apologies grow louder? And will heaping insults actually help Congress's cause when it comes to its poll fortunes? Is defiance a sign of aggression or arrogance, as is being alleged by the BJP? To help us answer those questions, I'm now joined on the broadcast by Shazia Ilmi, who is a spokesperson of the BJP, Karan Verma, and author is on the broadcast, Nikhil Jain, political analyst, is also with us. But my first question will be to you, Mr. Lokesh Jindal. As you take out Sankalp Satyagraha across the country, a lot of people have been asking, why is Rahul Gandhi missing?
As I attended myself the Sankalp Satyagraha here in Nagpur today, this is a Sankalp Satyagraha by all the congressmen together. They all came together and they showed their solidarity. They committed themselves to the cause of democracy, to stand by the truth, because the government at the center has done injustice to our leader who was standing for democracy, who stood for the ideals of the Constitution, was unjustly disqualified from the parliament, was unjustly given a sentence whereby the entire...
So just to make it clear, your satyagraha is against the Surat court and the judge who gave that verdict?
Our satyagraha is against the entire episode, right from Adani Hindenburg scam to the entire episode whereby the government, it tried to malign Mr. Gandhi's image, first via the London speech which he gave, second then by sending the Delhi police, and then at last when the government, it conducted a shameless, mischievous conduct of opening up a case that its own complainant had asked the Gujarat High Court to stop because he was not having enough evidence. But then again it was reopened in February 2023.
Okay.
And in a blitzkrieg manner, the verdict was delivered. The simple objective was so as to restrain Rahul Gandhi, to silence his voice in the parliament, to silence all form of opposition, which is highly undemocratic.
Right. Shazia Ilmi,
all the
because you're trying to
congressmen-
silence a legitimate parliamentarian's voice inside the parliament, which is why the Congress has been forced to take to the streets to conduct satyagraha so that people can hear what their representatives are not being allowed to say in the parliament.
So the blatant lying continues. It is also obvious that the Congress party has no respect for either the OBC community or our courts. And I just heard yet another lie being bandied around that it is this government which has called for the disqualification of Rahul Gandhi. So let me make it very clear to everybody watching this channel that this is a lie, another lie and the long chain of lies which is being thrown around. This has nothing to do with the executive or the BJP government, the legislature. This has come from judiciary. So obviously Rahul Gandhi, as is evident from his trip abroad, has no respect whatsoever for our institutions, for the various democratic parliamentary bodies, and especially for the courts. So, and they are continuing to lie that this government has done what has done. Two, let me make it absolutely clear that the Congress party themselves have thrown Rahul Gandhi, their Shahzada, under a bus, just like they went around running helter-skelter trying to save Pawan Khera. They didn't bother because they realized that this would be the only face-saving, graceful exit for a man. And thirdly, I heard Mr. Jindal's lofty words. He has not even mentioned even once whether Rahul Gandhi and the entire party owes an apology to a member of a community which feels hurt, indignant at having been called chor. This after a rapid, habitual offence done by Rahul Gandhi of calling people names, using unparliamentary language, showing them down and not apologizing. So I think the issue is not being addressed. This is a satyagraha. You have Jagdish Chaitler there who attends a satyagraha or a satyagraha, who is actually accused of the Sikh riots.
Nikhil
So
Jain.
I am quite shocked. And as for the Adani talk, can they explain how did 5 lakhs, and 2010 the company Young India, how did 5 lakhs become 800 crores? So they have a lot to
No,
answer
so there
for.
have already
This
been
is
a lot of
party
discussions
known for
around the contracts that were
widespread
given to
corruption.
Adani, both under Congress governments, Gehlot government, TMC government, etc. But occasion, my question to you is, at a time when the BJP has been mounting offensive
And Kerala
against your
government.
leader
And during
for
Rajiv
his
Gandhi's time,
comments against
too.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi. In the past also he's made comments for which he had to apologize. Pawan Khera has offered an unconditional apology in the court. In that context, even now, when the Congress leader says that I'm not going to apologize, and in that process, he brings in Savarkar as well. You're not only insulting Modi, BJP is saying you're insulting OBCs, and now you're insulting Savarkar yet again. What's the strategy here?
Right now, I heard the BJP spokesperson, and I could make out how scattered her defense is. She is not able to concentrate on one single solid basis to which she could defend her party's stand. It's scattered because she is herself confused. Secondly, when you talk about Rahul Gandhi hurling any form of a comment
It's
towards
the courts
the community,
and not
that's
the
wrong.
government.
Madam,
You're
please don't
lying,
interject.
Sir, you're lying. Do not lie. Answer. It is not the government, it is the courts. And there is a difference. And you must respect.
Madam, do you even know
India's
the
judiciary.
Do you even know the court? Do you even know the case history? When was the case filed? Can you please tell me?
Yes.
When was the case filed?
Do you know? So
When was
are
the
you
case
saying
filed?
that the center has something to do with it?
When
No, we all
was
know
the
the
case
court
filed?
history, and we know Rahul Gandhi's
when did
history
Rahul Gandhi
too.
give his
His
when did
checkered
Rahul Gandhi
record
record his
when it comes to
statement?
language of
Do
impropriety.
you know when did Rahul Gandhi record his statement?
Remember how Supreme Court
Do you
had
know what was the
to
Gujarat High
quieten
Court's
him down,
decision in March
and he had to say
2020?
give an unconditional
Do you know
apology
what was
for
Gujarat? What
Chokidar
is the
Chor
reaction
Hai?
in February
Do you know when he blamed the
2023?
RSS? And when
Madam,
he
when you don't
talked
know
about
what the case
Godse
is,
being killed by BJP
Madam,
and RSS, what happened?
Madam,
Do you know?
I don't
Do you know the
understand
history
one
of your
thing.
own leader? Do you know the history of your own leader, Rahul Gandhi?
Can you please
And
moderate?
why-
Yes,
why are you
yes,
keeping
one
it
by
so
one.
quickly?
Shazia,
Please
you
moderate.
let him rebut. You will get your turn. Let him rebut. Yes, Mr. Jindal, finish your point quickly.
See, let's not muddy the water to make it look deep. It's very crystal clear. The entire case history is known to entire legal community, fraternity. Everybody knows the nature of section 499, 500 and 504. The
Sir,
clear
but-
verdict of those sections.
Mr. Jindal, how does the case history matter? Now we have a verdict that has come, a verdict that has been given not by the BJP, not by the Modi Sarkar, but by a court in Surat.
Right.
So
Okay.
the history is only of academic interest, if anything at all.
No. Let me make it very, very clear. In 1916, even Gandhi was convicted, Mahatma Gandhi was convicted in Champaran by the court. Let me be very clear. He refused to apologize. He accepted the punishment because it was against an unjust rule. Congress at that point of time fought for a democracy. It established democracy against a tyrannical rule. And now again, it will save that very democracy which it established from a tyrannical
It is not arrogance, it is self-assuredness, it is conviction in the principles that Congress is going to fight for saving the democracy in this country, which has led to these utterances by Rahul Gandhi, today by Priyanka Gandhi, when she says that Prime Minister is a coward, that he's scared of facing questions, valid, legitimate, fact-based questions being raised by the Congress leaders, which is why they are reacting in such a hurry. They want to muzzle the voice of dissent and factual criticism.
You know, Priya, it is so rich to hear from the Congress party about saving democracy. I mean, a party that has toppled 93 times elected state governments using Article 356, a party that overturned a Supreme Court verdict in the Shah Banu case, a party that imposed the emergency in 1975, a party that brought about the anti-defamation law, which it had to take back in 1988. If that party talks about saving democracy, it's a case of the pot calling the kettle black. And I'm not just talking about history. Even if I talk about recent history, this party slapped sedition charges on an individual for just complaining about electricity in Chhattisgarh. So here is a party that uses selectivism. When a cartoonist is put in jail for 12 years in West Bengal, this party doesn't talk about murder of democracy under TMC rule. It doesn't talk about that. So here is a court verdict. I mean, Mr. Jindal, my good friend, he talks about the history of the case. It's good to hear that he's read the history of the case. But the final thing is that here is a verdict which holds him guilty. And when there is a conviction, it is an automatic disqualification. So it's not a political process that has played out, it's a judicial process. And secondly, it's very important the Congress, especially Rahul and Priyanka, they fire their script writers. Because again today, they made blunders after blunders. They brought in Lord Ram. They had denied the existence of Lord Ram in an affidavit filed in the court. Today they brought in Lord Ram and compared Lord Ram to Parivarvad. In fact, Lord Ram's entire journey is against Parivarvad. It was Kekai who wanted to place Lord Bharat as the king, and Lord Ram went out, and finally it paved way for merit to win over nepotism, and Lord Ram became the king of Ayodhya, and rightly so. Then she talked about Pandavas. I mean, again, that was a classic case where Parivarvad lost. Dhritarashtra wanted the Kauravas to be placed, wanted his son Duryodhan to be placed. So please get your facts right and please start focusing. People don't like it when you make factual mistakes after mistakes, whether it is Rahul Gandhi talking about intervention. He talked about intervention of foreign powers when he said कि यहाँ पर democracy is wiped out and you are doing nothing because of trade and money. He said that.
Nikhil Jain, is it an opportunity that has come in the way of the Congress party by the way of this disqualification to galvanize support for the party, to galvanize even the opposition to take on the BJP in 2024, but an opportunity that is being squandered away because your leaders are too busy indulging in name calling, in insulting the Prime Minister instead of focusing on the bigger issues here?
No, so before I come on to that, I want to point out something Ms. Ilmi is missing here. It is that the disqualification of Mr. Rahul Gandhi is not by the order of the court, it is by the order of the Lok Sabha Secretariat. It is not by itself an automatic disqualification
Sir, it's
process.
been 3 days to that. Multiple times it has been clarified. As per the court order, it is automatically incumbent for that
The
notice
Lok
to be
Sabha
issued.
Secretariat is supposed to take the view of the Election Commission of India under Article 102, subclause 3 of the Constitution of India, read with the Lily Thomas judgment. So it is not the court that has disqualified Mr. Gandhi, it is the Lok Sabha Secretariat which within 24 hours of the verdict of the court
Is that going to be
disqualified
the
Mr. Gandhi
argument of the
without
Congress
taking an
party
opinion
when
of
they
the
go to
election.
a higher court in appeal? Is that a
Sorry?
legitimate argument that is going to work in the court of law?
Correct.
Of course, why will it not? So anything in law that happens has to happen with a process and a procedure.
So the point that BJP has been making, was there a deliberate delay in approaching the court? What stopped the Congress party from appealing on a Thursday itself? Why did they wait to react before?
Time to appeal a certain decision just within 24 hours. See, the Congress party does not behave like the way the Modi government does. They did the demonetization.
They did behave like Modi government, if that's the parallel you are drawing. When Pawan Kheda was stopped at the airport, they went to Supreme Court.
So the point is that every time, every single action cannot be made in that swift hurry. It is not, the Congress party is not a party that is running on a Tughlaqi Farman. It takes some time to think about it, consider it, take the legal opinion, and then go for a challenge or an appeal as the case may be.
Shazia
So
Ilmi,
for-
the BJP is so scared
Take that
of the valid points
disqualification.
being made by the leader from the Congress party that it couldn't think of any other solution but to jeopardize, capture judiciary and judge and order disqualification as soon as possible.
Onto the judiciary. I'm not putting anything onto
So,
the judiciary. But
Sir,
what
if
I'm
the
trying
court
to say
verdict
is-
hadn't come, the speaker would not have given any verdict.
Sorry?
So two brief
According
points.
to you, if there would haven't been a court conviction, then Lok Sabha speaker couldn't have done anything, right?
Right, but still the
So,
Lok
so
Sabha
when one of the
Secretariat,
Congress
Lok Sabha
leaders
Speaker
says that
still
we
has to
have
follow the
seen that
process.
several judges in the
no,
court had
so-
been changed before the verdict came out, what is he trying to imply?
I will not go into what he is trying to imply. All I can say is that we are not making
So I
any
think they're
implication
going- I
on the
think-
judiciary.
But
The
Rahul
point
Gandhi
is,
was,
I think
this
when he
witness
was in the
going
UK, he
to
said that in
government
India,
and
media is also
opposition
captured,
leaders.
judiciary is also captured. Are you saying he wasn't right?
Two brief
So
points.
I'm not saying whether the judiciary is captured or not. That is a matter of a separate debate. The point here is
So
this
two brief
government
points.
scared of Mr. Gandhi? Is he scared of
I
him
think-
uttering the A word in the parliament? And that they are. That is what in this
Okay,
entire...
So
let's-
Shazia, Rahul Gandhi
of the-
also made this point
Okay,
yesterday that
agreed.
twice he had
Okay.
gone to the speaker in Lok
Great.
Sabha
So I
and
will
asked
answer
for
that.
time to speak. Why was he not given time to speak before he was disqualified and now obviously
something
cannot have the
people have to
opportunity?
answer.
So let's for
And I would also like to point out another thing.
Yeah,
Mr.
I've-
Meek goes around
I've been
saying
wanting to answer that.
Yeah,
so
30
I would
seconds.
Like to,
I've
I would just like to
completely
say,
run out of
let's
time
for a
already.
moment
30
presume.
seconds.
Let's for
So, Mr.
So
Meek
let's
goes
for a
around and
moment
says
presume that
it is the
BJP is
Supreme Court that
petrified
asked
and we are
Rahul Gandhi
trembling.
to
And you know
Let
Rahul Gandhi
Shazia
is
speak,
the
please.
answer and we've been scared of Rahul Gandhi and he is the tallest leader. So let's for a minute presume. So once the conviction order came about, there had to be stay of conviction, which obviously was not sought. No higher court was approached. No judicial remedy or recourse was reached out to. So I want to ask a very simple question. Say, let's presume that everybody is petrified of Rahul Gandhi and he's the tallest leader and you know he is going to be, and he is the person everybody in India moots for and roots for. What stopped Congress from approaching higher court and challenging this? If it was a matter of 24 hours, they have gone to courts for various
Okay.
other people. They have
Unfortunately, I've
gotten courts
completely
open in
run
the
out of
middle the
time
night.
on this, but the
For serious
question that
offenders,
everybody
I
needs to look at is when Rahul Gandhi says that there is no democracy, opposition is silenced. If we can play out the visuals of the gathering at Rajghat today, there was section 144 and despite that, all the Congress leaders were there at Rajghat holding a Sankalp Satyagraha. But like was said by Priyanka Gandhi yesterday, the real test of who the people trust, what is the status of democracy, lies in the people. Congress can probably answer the BJP by winning elections and not just by making speeches offshore. Thank you, gentlemen, and Shazia Ilmi for joining me. We take a very quick break.
The News Hour, Special Edition.